Hallways. I thought this was really, really interesting. I loved how kind of stylized it was and how kind of almost like they had a very, very strong theme that they really honored throughout it, which I thought was really interesting and just kind of added to the for me added to the viewing experience. I also loved that in the very beginning there was such a focus on kind of like the legs and the movement and the way that they were moving together, but also like the individual dance moves that they were doing. And then slowly and slowly you got a larger and larger and larger perspective until you get to the very, very end. And you see just how kind of vast it is, but it's also still so enclosed. Which I thought was really interesting to kind of slowly walk you to that instead of seeing right away that kind of large space. And I liked that they kind of, like I said, had a very small focus at the beginning and then kind of slowly brought you out and out and out and out, which I like as far as like from viewing dance that way was really interesting because you didn't get the full movement, or it didn't feel like you got the full movement of what they were doing in the very beginning because the focus was, so kind of zoomed in. And then by the end, like you're getting this like great, very, kind of not out of focus, but very, very overall view, which is just very different than what you started with, which I thought was really fascinating.
This film, Hallways, is an optical illusion dance film. It's very experimental with the way it's filmed and the editing of the illusion on top. I really love the setting choice paired with their fun leggings, and they kept the black and white theme very consistent. And I think it just looks really cool. And it's meant to have an almost mind-bending feel and look to it, almost like you're being hypnotized. And I think they picked really good music choice for this, and the dancing and idea behind the film was really unique.
This filmmaker went out of their way to break the rules, and they did it well. Um, there's this abstract, illusionist realm within the black and white, the way that there are stripes, whether they're horizontal or vertical, checkered, whether it's on the tights or on the floor. A cinematographer would come up to a costume designer generally and be like, this is too much in front of the camera. And so I like that they go that extra mark to bring about this disillusioned, discombobulated moment. And when you think about a hallway, think about what a hallway can represent. It's essentially getting you from point A to point B. And so we're seeing foot traffic, and that's all that we're seeing in this time until we get later on to the lasting shot that we end on. But we get to see just, I think there's an importance to show like how strong our legs are in itself, because our legs are a form of transportation itself. So our legs are getting us from point A to point B just as much as a hallway is. So there's this parallel between the two.